our guy here, Amin Vanover, charged with DUI. That's obviously a very serious offense. It involved marijuana, unregistered vehicle. It's unfortunate. We don't know what's going to happen to him. I mean, is it Isaiah Pacheco? Like, he lead hit and run, I think, right? Is that who it was? Isaiah Pacheco for the Chiefs, the running back.
I don't know what happened with him. No,
he
run.
he was in that. Yeah, he like crashed his car going like 100 miles an hour, and then he ran from it.
Jeez. Well,
but I'll just say the Chiefs player.
Yeah. He's from Rutgers. Most people don't know that.
And these guys, they talk about guys getting away with stuff. I mean, that guy's still playing football. It's incredible.
The worst part about this whole thing is the unregistered car. That's like the worst part about it, to be honest with you. Marijuana is for football players, it's not okay, but like in the world right now, it's normal. It's completely normal.
I mean, the thing about it is, it's like at the end of the day, if you are driving a car, and I don't know if it was his, even if there's reporting on it, I don't know that you're not going to know the true story, but
no,
either it's not his car or it is, and it's unregistered. I mean, first of all, if your car is unregistered, I mean, that's a reason to be pulled over, first of all.
Yeah.
But if your car is registered, this kid's probably not even getting pulled over. But then at the end of the day, it's like you're driving around under the influence. I mean, does that happen a lot every day by a lot of people? Yeah, it does, unfortunately. Yeah. But it's like, and I don't know, man. If the car's registered, it probably doesn't get pulled over at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But at the end of, regardless, he got a DUI. He's being charged with that. He got pulled over. It was an unregistered vehicle. He's under the influence. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what happened. And
when did it happen? When did he get pulled over? Do we know?
It was on August 8th, just after midnight. Vanover was stopped by the intersection of Wapalaney and O'Brien Lane, that's a little far off campus, I think.
Wapalaney's over by State College High School. Right.
Yeah.
Right
it's
there.
over there by the YMCA.
Yep.
So police noted an odor of marijuana coming from the car. He was the sole occupant. He was sleepy in appearance. So he consented to blood testing. He's taking him out in any 95% confidence level that there was stuff in his system.
Mm-hmm.
Through 2 games this season, Vanover has recorded just 2 tackles. At the end of the day, man, this guy was probably hanging out with his friends. Mm-hmm. They were smoking, then he drove home, and that's it. But again, if you're not driving an unregistered car, if you're driving a registered car, you're probably fine.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, they might not have known it was unregistered. Maybe he was swerving, and then they found out it was unregistered. I mean,
I just recently re-registered my car. I totally forgot to up the registration. It's easy to do. I mean, I went like over a month without my car being properly registered. I just totally forgot. I mean,
I did that as well. Yeah, I did that. It was supposed to be renewed in like November. I forgot until like March of this year. I was like, oh, I forgot about it, man.
Exactly. So it happens, but
yeah,
you and I aren't driving around under the influence. So if you are going to do that, and that's never good to do. If you are doing it, that's the thing about it, man. It's like you're driving under the influence and your car's unregistered. I mean, that's just like a bad idea. It's a bad look. But we'll see going forward what exactly happens with the charges. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I don't know if he'll be suspended. I mean, we're kind of speculating here, but what do you think is going to happen to him?
I mean, if it happened before the season started, and he's played a little bit, so I mean, I don't know if they're waiting for it to fully go through, but they would have knew right away. You know what I'm saying? So like, whatever they're doing, it must not be too serious. I mean, people have gotten. I'm trying to think who it was. This has happened before with other players, obviously. Like possession of marijuana. Oh, Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
Abdul Carter had the same thing, and that was on the off season. So who knows how they dealt with it? But he didn't miss any games, so I
Well,
don't know.
another thing too about that is, you know, it's during this like this stuff happens, and there haven't been it's something stuff hasn't been done yet. Same with Abdul and like the tow truck driver, like the fight that they had. Um, this stuff happens, and at the end of the day, like I said before, they are kids. People make mistakes. I mean, I don't think you should ever be driving under the influence of anything, but it's just one of those things where we'll see how it plays out. He is playing. This stuff happens quite a bit in the
Yeah,
world in general. So it's nothing like it's not like, oh, like he was driving under the influence. I mean, it's wrong, but that happens all the time, man. And
yeah,
unfortunately for this kid, it wouldn't be in the paper if he wasn't a football player. So, well, it would be in the paper, but it wouldn't be a big story. So overall, we'll see. I don't know if anything will happen. It's like you just said, it happened before the season. So, yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Same with Abdul. Maybe nothing will come of it. They'll keep it an internal matter. I'm sure they've already been punished. I would fully expect Franklin to be the type to,
hmm
if you do something like that, you're gonna get a punishment, and it's probably worse than what the police would do.
yeah,
So maybe punishment has already been handed out. I mean, there's been tons and tons of college football players that have had stuff happen. I mean, Jameis Winston stole crab legs. Uh, Johnny Manziel was always in the news for something.
yeah,
Countless players have gotten in trouble. I mean, it happened a lot when Joe was the coach. And again, like Joe, whatever he did to them for punishment was probably worse than what the legal system would do. So,
yeah.
I mean, Christian Hackenberg talked about what he had to do when I think it was after him and Brenneman were talking about it. They said, I think it was after Michigan, they partied for like 4 straight days. And then he missed like a morning practice. And then O'Brien chewed him out in the meeting, and he thought that was it. And then for like a week after that, at like 5 a.m. every day, he was pushing sleds, probably throwing up every day, every time he's doing that. But, obviously
Yep.
there's going to be some sort of punishment handed down, and maybe it already was, but still a story nonetheless. Going forward, I just hope these guys just make better decisions. But, Brett, we've got a bit of news with the schedule. So we've got. Do you have anything else to say about that? About the?
No, I think it's not even like a wait and see thing. I mean, we'll never know basically. So, but yeah, I mean, he needs to chill. He needs to not, I'm sure he learned his lesson, and we're gonna need him this year, so he needs to
Yeah,
contribute.
I
Yep.
hope he did.
Yeah.
But and the greater point of that, man, is the fact that Chiefs player was going like 100 miles an hour. He crashed into like 3 or 4 cars and then ran away from the scene. And he's playing week 1. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the NFL, they've gone just full out.
They don't care. No.
They've just gone full out woke with everything. It's like you have, all the messages in the end zone. The whole thing with Kaepernick kneeling, which I thought was not good. I didn't like that. I didn't like it for the NFL. The NFL was all about. They're all about this like this woke change, and then they got a guy like that playing football. It's like what's the how do you separate those two things? They have a lot of guys who have done stuff like that, and they're still playing. I mean, it's like it's just
No,
hypocritical. I think.
nothing's worse than Deshaun Watson. I mean, let's be honest here. He's a starting quarterback for the Browns, and it looks like he continues to make the same mistakes with the
Well,
stuff he's been up to, man.
exactly,
So
and at the end of the day, we live in a capitalistic country, which is good, but
yeah, I
and he
saw.
got paid. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I saw. Did you ever see the video of Joe Mixon knocking his
Yeah,
girlfriend out, dude? I never wanted to see Joe Mixon play football again. It
No,
didn't
I
matter.
thought I thought that was. I mean, it's Ray Rice did.
It was the most disturbing thing. The video, like he knocked her
It
out
was
completely cold.
he did,
Like
and
not okay.
first of all, as men, like we're stronger as it
Yeah,
is, but when you have a football player who
yeah,
lifts weights all the time, I mean, yeah, you're doing some damage for sure
yeah.
on anyone, let alone a female. But yeah, I just think overall, man, message of the NFL, it's, you do something illegal or you get charged with something and there's no punishment. It's like, okay, so don't act righteous with everything else. I mean, it's just like, it's just not a good look overall. And that's one of the reasons why I've gotten turned away from the NFL is because of all the garbage that they put out. And that's what it is, man. It's like, just stick to football, just stick to your sport. Don't get into any kind of, it's like just stick to the sport, don't turn your fans away from the sport that it is. I mean, at the end of the day, it's football. It's a brand. America loves football. We love a violent sport. It like I love football. I always have. Your typical American does. Um, just protect the brand, like just protect the
Yep.
brand, like keep it what it is. That's just kind of my thoughts on that. I'm not going to go off in a rant, but